Okay, so welcome to Enjoy Lublin. Today we're going to give a review of the barbecue we bought last summer from Leroy Merlin, or Leroy Merlin. We bought the Naterial Hudson BBQ. A couple of things I'm going to talk about, just the things I really like about it, things I dislike about it, and then one thing that's a real challenge for using this barbecue in the winter time here in Poland, and I'll explain what that is and what you can do to work around it. So, the material cover on this barbecue is fantastic. It's sun faded a little bit, but you know what, not a big deal. But it stays in really good shape. None of the seams are coming apart, none of the material is frayed or worn. It works really well. It's got Velcro straps down on the sides so you can cinch those up, so on a windy day it's not going to pull up off the barbecue, right? So when you strap that together, when it's windy out, because I've had that happen in our barbecue back home, wind gets underneath it and then you'll find your barbecue somewhere else in the yard. So if it's windy and then rainy next year, you can come home to a wet barbecue. Kind of sucks, but first world problems when your cover blows off, but if you don't have a fence in your yard, you might find it down the street. Naterial Hudson. I think this is a great barbecue. I don't know if it's the Naterial brand in general or just the Hudson brand specifically. This barbecue, we've been really happy with. First, I'll talk about the good things about it. Lights like a dream. Still after a year of use, you turn the dials, give it a click, boom, off she goes, you're cooking, you're heated up. Close the lid, you wait, and the whole thing gets the temperature really quick. Great, that's one of my favorite things. I didn't think I'd ever use the skillet part, but that's actually been really handy. We've never used the other side, which is kind of a ribbed side. I'll show you that. Oh, never mind, don't take a close look at that. I guess I could clean that. Anyway, don't, edit that out. This part works really well. It's pretty well seasoned, so we're putting bacon and stuff on it, then you can cook egg on it, doesn't stick, it's great. But yeah, mental note, I should probably clean the other side. Anyway. Lights really well, gets the temperature really well. There's some hot spots, cold spots, not cold, but just hot and hotter. So you just got to make sure that as you get to know your barbecue, you're putting the meat in the places where the heat is proper for the thickness of the meat. But you learn that over time. Never used this once. Cutting board, still in plastic. The tray's underneath. I guess if you're going to have a big party, you could fill this full of sauerkraut, kapusta, whatever, but it just seems like another thing to clean, so I haven't bothered. I just bring a dish with whatever I need from inside the house and take it back in and wash it in the sink. Plus, I kind of like this all nice and shiny. I don't like seeing this stuff get scratched up. The good news, you can put a bunch of weight on this though. So when you're coming out to cook stuff, you can put your pot or your accessories, your eggs, just whatever, because it's solid. You got the little side triangular supports. Some barbecues don't have that, so you can put a lot of weight on there, so that's cool. Side burner, we barely use this ever either. We used it one time just to come outside to heat something up that you're going to be cooking inside, because the two temperature settings that this thing has, hot and really hot. So if you want it to boil, works great. If you want it to get to simmer or just kind of keep lukewarm, not so good. So that's something to know. But I would again, if I have a plate of food, I bring it here and set it on top of this so that I'm not scratching the top of this, but that's just because I don't want to see my stainless steel barbecue get scratched. But that's just me. Great temperature gauge, very accurate, works really well. Heats up quickly, which is a really good thing too. When you have the cover down, you put it on high, be careful because it heats up really quick. We cooked a few pizzas on here, it's worked really well. That's the burner control. And I'll show you the before-after images, the before images when I light these up. The LED lights work really well. For using this at night, you have a second light they connect on the side. Just bring a headlamp out if it's too dark, but it looks cool. I'll show that in slow motion. The wheels work really well too. They roll really well, so our ground here is pretty even, but they roll really well. And then I like that you can lock them. It works really well. It clicks in place. It holds pretty solid. And the plastic still feels solid. It doesn't feel like it's going to break. It doesn't feel like it's about to snap because it's getting old and brittle. It all feels solid and well built, just like it was brand new, so to speak. Handles are great. You got some storage on the side. Never really used it. I'm not sure what you're supposed to put there. Plates, I don't know. So the thing I don't like about it, and this is more of a temperature in Poland in the wintertime and the way they mix the gas. So in Canada, or at least where we're from in Canada, the propane tank is what we call a propane tank. It's not a gas tank, it's 100% propane. So propane has a boiling point of what, -40 or something like that. So it stays liquid no matter how cold it is outside. So in Canada, you can be lighting up your barbecue and having a pizza stone going on there, -30, which we've done. And the pizza cooks just fine. Here, you think it does work if you have a new tank and it's half filled with propane and butane. I'm not sure the exact ratio, it might be 50-50. Butane, I think its boiling point is like +5 or 10 or something, because we've had it where if you burn the tank down and you lift it and you can tell it still feels half full. So you know there's a lot of gas in there still, but if it's +5 or colder, it won't go to flame. It'll have a little flicker, it'll be lit, but I know Eva said, no, I don't think our chicken's cooking, because it was only about 150 degrees, even though I sat on for like half an hour trying to get it to temperature. So not ideal to be cooking meat slowly at a low temperature. So the problem is the butane, if it's what's in your tank mostly, or if it's cold out and you've burned off all the propane, it doesn't get hot. So the two fixes, either keep the tank inside when it's cold out, which is kind of a hassle, or if you can find a supplier that has a tank that's pure propane, like we do in Canada, use it all winter long. Because I've taken this, where I've taken it out, I've shaken it, you can feel that it's, I would call it half full. But the problem is it doesn't get the temperature, it doesn't get warm. The flame comes out like a little trickle, like a little baby flame, like a little pretend flame. Pointless, useless. So that's the problem cooking something when you get to cooler temperature. And we're not talking Arctic here, we're talking like +5, which is still above freezing, or slightly colder. If it's the propane that's all that's in there, we thought something was wrong with the tank. We've tried replacing the tank, we've got a different tank. That's another thing that's interesting in Poland. You don't buy a tank and then get it refilled. You buy a tank and then you take that tank back to a retailer and you get a replacement tank. So you're never using the same tank. So if you have a problem, you might be with the tank that you got, or there's no way of really knowing because you're never using the same tank over and over again. But anyway, the good news is they know they're all certified and tested, so you're getting a proper tank. But again, if it's mostly butane left in your tank and it gets cold out, it's not going to get the temperature and you're going to have problems. So either keep it inside, find a supplier that has a tank that can be pure propane. We're still looking. We have one guy that says he can do it, but we haven't confirmed yet because it's summer, so why we wouldn't worry about it, or it's spring. But that's the problem with barbecuing in Poland in the wintertime, is if you're using a tank that has a mix of propane and butane, and if it's cold out, or if you burn down most of the propane, it's not going to light. Or it'll light, but it doesn't get very warm. But anyway, overall review, however, of the barbecue itself, the Naterial brand, the Hudson specifically, the 3 burners have all worked really well. It's been a year, as you can see, it's been well seasoned. There's a bit of life inside this barbecue. We're pretty happy with it. We use it pretty regularly. So hopefully you found that interesting, and if it was something you might give us a thumbs up if you thought it was good information, and subscribe to the channel. And this weekend is the May long weekend, so a lot of people should be out barbecuing. Still a lot of barbecuing with charcoal or briquettes, but barbecue is a great, easy way to do it. And we're going to have videos about the May long weekend, about Constitution Day, about Flag Day. A whole bunch of food trucks going to be below the castle. We're going to be pretty busy. So if you like this kind of stuff, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and hopefully see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.